everybody, this is Damien from Legend Live. With our bucket list talks, we look to give you tips, advice, and inspiration to go off and create and live your own bucket list. We do this by interviewing travelers, travel experts, and travel founders who share their insights and places to stay, destinations, adventures, and experiences so you can go off and live your bucket list life. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Cliff and Rachael Wilson, who are founders of Belize Sailing Vacations, a company based in Belize that offers luxury sailing trips and adventures around Belize. So how are you guys today?
Doing wonderful. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for making the time. I know you guys arrived late, so probably a little bit late, a little bit tired today. So we'll try to make this a lively conversation. So to get started, maybe you can give us a little bit of a background about how you guys got into sailing and then how you arrived in Belize.
Absolutely. So I started sailing when I was 6 years old, but my parents moved down with their catamaran 20 years ago down to Belize and started a charter company then. And since that point in time, we've had a chance to expand the fleet to have up to 8 boats, but we're the only really all-inclusive charter company in Belize, being able to explore all the different locations in the second largest barrier reef in the world. It's a really wonderful spot, very remote, not very crowded like a lot of the other cruising grounds, and we obviously like it a whole lot. So it's a really great way to be able to see all the different spots that you just really can't get to unless you're on a boat. So.
Okay, so basically your connection with Belize started pretty early on. Your parents were already, basically took you there, and then you kind of like been there pretty much all your formative years.
Well, yeah, pretty much. They were both professionals here in California, and they decided to close up shop and sell everything they had and jumped on a boat. And I was 20-something years old and said, "Hey, do you mind if I come along?" So we started off with that, and we've had a chance to. I've been really grateful to be able to grow and get to know some really good people and explore some really great terrain at the same time.
Okay, awesome. So maybe you can give people a little bit of a perspective on why Belize should be considered as a sailing destination or a place for water-based kind of activities.
Absolutely.
So Belize has the second largest barrier reef in the world, and it's got the trade winds typically come out of the east, so we're going like north to south, so you have perfect sailing conditions. There's also over 200 islands to explore, so the itinerary options are endless. I mean, some of our guests come back sort of 5-6 times because they haven't explored this area. There's also 3 of the 4 atolls in the whole Caribbean: Glover's, Lighthouse, and Turniff. And so, for example, around Turniff, it's a huge fly fishing. When I say huge, there's not many people there, but it's a massive fly fishing mecca. And then you also have the world famous Blue Hole, which is the huge sinkhole out at Lighthouse, which is in the top 10 for scuba divers around the world in their bucket list. And then Glover's is kind of like a Polynesia. It's like a turquoise lagoon just teeming with corals and tiny little islands on the outer wall that got the postcard perfect setup with the sand, a couple of tiny little dive resorts, and you're literally in the middle of nowhere. So there's areas like that to explore, but there's also, if people want a little bit more life, there's the more northern keys where, you've got like these sandy little islands with colorful beach bars and, there's a bit more life going on. So people that want to have fresh seafood out at a nice restaurant or, meet other people, have a bit more life, there's that as well. And then, so really there's something for every tempo. You want to be in the middle of nowhere and not see another soul, or, listening to reggae music on a sleepy island with a cold beer in your hand, sail all day. There's just so many possibilities in a tiny geographical radius.
Yeah, and every day there's something new to see and different spots, different locations, and you get a chance to. I mean, we've been there for, like I said, 20 years. We haven't seen it all ourselves, so there's a lot to go see. It's really fun.
Okay, so for yourselves, what would be the top destinations that you've kind of visited whilst you've been there?
Sailing wise, I mean, there's, the atolls are really beautiful, but along the barrier reef, we sail on average between about 2 to 4 hours a day. And it's usually wake up in the morning, have breakfast, go snorkeling, go fishing, personalize whatever they're into, then go sail the next spot, do the same kind of stuff, go see manatees, go see turtles. By 8 or 9 o'clock, everybody's, pretty exhausted and have a great day and had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, brilliant.
I like the Southern Keys, particularly down towards the Sapodillas, because the clarity of the water is just spectacular. But what's also good with a southern itinerary is that typically on a charter we have to stop halfway through or head to the mainland to reprovision ice, get fresh water for the boat, a few provisions. But the guests can go off for half a day and do something completely different, like they can go horseback riding or zip lining or do a cacao immersion and chocolate making, or there's so many different things they can go and do, and just pop off the boat for half a day and get a completely different perspective. Also, down south at the City River, there's a bioluminescent lagoon, which is, the whole thing kind of lights up as you speed around in the dinghy, and it's just something so unique and really cool and not really well known either. And but because we've been around a long time, and a lot of our captains, I mean, they really know the lay of the land and all these additional experiences that, if you came down and stayed on land and tried to figure it out, wouldn't have that sort of resource. So there's the contrast between the ocean and being able to pop over and see that as well makes a really great itinerary.
Yeah, I mean, it's your own personal tour guide, and when people come in, that's what they really enjoy, is having that convenience and personalized treatment to be able to go out and really have their vacation the way they want to have it. They want to get remote places or beach bars, something like that, like Rachel was saying, is terrific. But people have come back, you can't see it all in one trip. So people have come back 2 or 3 times to explore the northern area or the southern area or the atolls. You also go down to Guatemala, a place called the Rio Dulce, which is like 200-foot cliff walls up meandering up a river, and howler monkeys, so a completely different environment. So you get the chance to see a lot of different things while you're down there. Okay.
So what's the best time of year to travel, like for a sailing kind of vacation?
Pretty much year round. It's a little bit cooler in the winter months, and we got air conditioning on all the boats as well in the summer months, and jump in the water to cool off. I'd say our peak season is usually between November through April, May, or something like that. It's kind of peak season, but people still come year round, and it's really nice, any time of the year.
And what's the minimum amount of time you would recommend someone look to do like a sailing kind of cruise?
So we have a minimum of 4 nights to really kind of get you a chance to even get out there and see what you want to see. Most people on average do 7 nights, so they get a chance to really go explore and see some different territory, which is great.
So maybe you can run us through, like you offer 2 itineraries, the northern side and the southern side. So maybe you can walk us through, briefly those itineraries so people get a feel what maybe 7 days would look like.
Yeah, so we have on a 7-night northern itinerary, I mean, we'd probably still cover a little bit of the Central Keys. So you probably depart and work your way south a little bit, and then work down as far as Southwater Key and Tobacco Key, which are tiny little islands that sit right on the reef, and they have cuts to the side of them, so we can take the guests out in the dinghy and do sort of a drift snorkel around the cut in the reef, and then explore the little islands. Tobacco Key, there's only like 39 locals that live there, and they live on the land, the fish. They cook, they make fires with coconut husks and dive for conch. It's a really cool experience. You work your way up, probably stop at a private island like Rendezvous Key, where we can go on the dock and have the island to ourselves for the day and the night. Work up through some of the mangrove areas where which are manatee reserves. There's a pretty good collection of manatees in Belize compared to elsewhere, and it's obviously a protected species. So the sightings are quite often up in the Gallows Reef and Drown Key area. From there, you'd work up possibly to St. George's Key, which is the old original capital of Belize. So that's kind of steeped in history, and then up as far as perhaps Key Corker, which is kind of a fun sleep. It's sort of a mix of backpackers and some expats, and locals. It's a really nice community, but if people wanted to go and have a nice meal off the boat and walk around the sand, pick up some art or something, then that's a great place. Also up in that area is Holchan Marine Reserve and Shark Ray Alley, which is a protected area for, I think, over 20 years. And it's sort of, we'd call it like the Disney underwater, it's just teeming. So that's a really nice experience. So that would be more of a central to northern. For southern, we would work our way south. We'd still call in at those places I talked about before, Tobacco Key and Southwater. From there, you can bounce out to Glover's, which is the beautiful atoll, the kind of Polynesia style atoll. And, they spend a couple of days exploring out there and then come back in, maybe work to the mainland for that reprovision and go see the bioluminescent lagoon, then work your way out to sort of Pelican Keys. And there's also keys like Ranguana, Reiki. I mean, there's just so many.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a snapshot of everything that's going on there. So many different islands, and it's really personalized to what the guests really like too. The southern keys are a little bit more remote, northern keys are a little bit more populated. When we say populated, we're saying small little beach islands. But it's one of those things. It's really, we have people that wanted to dive and people that didn't want to dive. You can accommodate the whole group. You have people want to fish, people want to read books, people want to go bar hopping. It can really be personalized and catered into individual, groups' needs, and everybody makes sure they have a really good time.
We can also do a drop. So, we do like a relocation of the boat, but we could do a 7-night southern and cover a ton and then have them dropped off down south in Placencia. And then they could stay on land for a couple of days and go do some like jungle, or inland, experiences from there. There's the Coxcomb Jaguar Preserve and lots of other fun things to do. So that's a nice little combo.
Okay, so from a diving perspective, beyond Blue Hole, which is pretty famous, so what other locations are pretty awesome for diving?
So pretty much the whole reef. The Blue Hole is a great bucket list to be able to check off, but there's so many other great spots to go to. So what we do is, we have, as part of the boat, we got fishing, kayaking, paddle boards, spear guns. Diving we do with the best dive shops around the areas. They each know their different areas. So the northern area, the southern area. So we contact the dive shop. They pick you off the boat. They go to their favorite spots right there and then bring you back to the boat, which is great. So the whole Barrier Reef, it's each got its own unique stuff. There's some really cool things. But, as far as the best spots, you've got the whole 200 miles plus different places to go to and go visit, which are really cool.
So I believe you can go whale shark swimming as well?
Down a certain time of the year is generally where it's more popular, between April and May and during a full moon. That's another option as well, is do the whale sharks down that area. So that's something we can help set all that up for you and make that all happen as well.
Yep. And then what kind of other diving experiences with other kinds of like nurse sharks or other kind of things?
You got the whole gambit. I mean, it's a very healthy reef ecosystem. So I mean, you're looking at sharks. There's not a whole lot of sharks you don't see. It's not like some other places, but lots of sharks, nurse sharks, turtles, groupers. You go through the whole reef ID book. You come back after swimming, and you kind of get the chance to check off all the things you got to see that time. Snorkeling is really great as well. The diving is fantastic, but there's a lot of great snorkeling as well. You just do right off the back of the boat.
Also, we can, a lot of our captains are spear fishermen, and the opportunity for the guests to go and like learn some spear fishing with them. And, a couple of them go like really way down, sort of 60 feet, 70 feet, and come up with some fantastic lunch.
So a lot of fresh lobster, fresh conch, fresh fish, and we're it really kind of makes that menu that much better. So it's great.
Yeah, no, especially if you can catch your own, it kind of makes it even more interesting experience, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So, no, it sounds pretty awesome. So, what else can guests going on a sailing vacation expect?
The food is amazing. So all of the chefs, the produce in Belize is kind of organic by default because they're not using all of the fertilizers. It's all Mennonite farms inland, so the produce is fantastic from the mainland. Everything's sort of locally raised. We try to avoid any imported things as much as possible, but everything's really abundant there, and our chefs are cooking a a menu that we've perfected and sort of fine-tuned over the years, and they keep perfecting it more. But you know, that your private chef's there to take care of your every need, and you know, you wake up and you smell the coffee, and you know, the table's set and breakfast is coming out, and everything's tailored towards your preferences. However you like to eat. We have very detailed guest preference forms, asking about your eating style. We can accommodate, you know, vegan to, you know, all different diets as well.
Yeah.
But then also the bonus being, you know, the fresh catch as well, just seeing a Kubera snapper caught, and you know, that's dinner is such a, or sashimi.
Yes, exactly.
So you know, all the boats, we always have all the, you know, wasabi and ginger and everything, so we can, you know, get that sashimi out there straight away. But the food's one of the big parts of the experience that a lot of people don't expect on a boat, that the food would be more than, you know, restaurant standard. And some people have been and eaten out at restaurants and said that the food is far better on the boat.
Yeah, and also what you expect is it's a really personalized trip. So you got people that are very active, want to be active all day. Other people who want to just sit back and relax and read a book, and you can accommodate all those different groups. People that want to get involved with the actual sailing the boat, people that want to sit back and do nothing. You know, just being able to kind of be able to take care of all those needs and be able to go to all these different spots, but be able to see the spots, but be able to stay there and not have to take a tour boat from the mainland, go to a snorkel spot, then have to go back. You know, you're actually right there on the boat. You get to move from spot to spot to spot, and you got your own, you know, floating hotel with, you know, all the amenities included. And it's a really nice way to be able to go explore and see all these different locations you just really can't get to any other way.
Yeah, no, definitely. So maybe you can give a little bit of a rundown on the actual boats. So it's catamarans, I believe. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that, what they're like, and then also the accommodation, because, you know, some people will be going, oh, I don't know, sleeping on a boat.
That's generally, people have that whole idea of sleeping on a boat, but then they walk on board and their eyes open up and go, oh, this is a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. So we have between 44 to 50 foot catamarans, and they have between 4 to 6 cabins on board. And one of the cabins is for the captain, the chef, but all the cabins are queen size beds. It's your own, you know, private head or bathroom, air conditioned cabins, very stable too. So people that got a boat, things leaning over, catamarans are very, very stable. Most of the time we're inside the reef, unless it's calmer when we go outside the reef or to one of the atolls. So you're not getting big open ocean waves. So everything's very, very calm, and there's no cup holders on board or anything else like that. Yeah. So it's very, I mean, they're between 24 to 28 feet wide. So they're big floating, you know, condos basically that you can move around from spot to spot. And when you get a chance to put the sails up and turn the engines off, you know, everybody kind of goes, oh, this is very, very, very magical, a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, awesome. So you mentioned before that you also offer more of the hands-on, where someone wants to learn to sail as well. Maybe you can talk a little bit about, you know, that component as well, where you can do the vacation plus learn at the same time.
Absolutely. So we do offer an American Sailing Association accreditation school. People can come learn from, you know, no experience whatsoever to the level of where they either want to be able to rent or buy their own catamaran and go off sailing on their own in the future. So we really enjoy, and we've had a lot of great experience and helped a lot of people gain that confidence and that knowledge and that firsthand experience living in kind of a classroom, like you're actually doing it yourself versus sitting in the classroom or just reading the books. So you get a chance to actually get behind the wheel and see what it'd be like. And it's really fun when people get a chance to go out and take the boats out on their own and get to learn that experience. Is a really, really fun thing. That's why we really enjoyed it so much ourselves. So.
Yeah, no, brilliant. So in finishing up, talking about the sailing side, you know, what do you, or what reason, or number one reason or reasons would you say everyone should consider a sailing kind of vacation in Belize?
I don't think there's any other better way to be able to see all there is to see out there. With over 200 miles of islands and atolls, you know, if you want to be able to go out there and enjoy yourself and experience all these different spots, you know, that is one of the best ways to be able to go out and see that. There's no, if you're staying on an island somewhere, you can't, you know, get to see so much and explore so much and see all the different things and be able to personalize it too as well. You're not with a bunch of other people on a cattle boat somewhere, going somewhere. You're actually, you know, your own floating hotel. You get a chance to, you know, do what you want to do.
And, you know, if you're staying on land, to, you know, you'd book like a trip to go to this one place and then you'd be back again. And then the next day you'd book a trip to go to some other place and be back again. And then, whereas we can do 2 of those things in one day that they would have to book and keep going back in and out for. And then, you know, we're flexible based on the guest preferences. So it doesn't get more tailor-made or customized a vacation.
Yeah, I'd summarize it. A lot of our guests have just gone like, wow, this has been a great vacation for me, because I haven't had to do all the planning and what are we doing tomorrow and where are we going, wherever else. But just being able to have someone to help take care, you can be able to put the input of what you guys are into and be part of the process, but just being able to step back and relax and have someone, if I come to your hometown, you're going to show me all the best places to go to have a really good time. So that same kind of experience, which people really enjoy.
No, definitely. But Belize itself, like, you know, because obviously there are other places in the world you can go sailing, and you guys are obviously very passionate about Belize. So for anyone who's going, well, there's, you know, I can go to Greece, I can go to these places, you know, and maybe they've not really kind of thought about Belize, you know, because you guys know it intimately. So maybe you can go, this is why you definitely need to check us out.
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of great places to go sailing around the world. Where Belize is a little bit different than compared to like the British Virgin Islands or anything else like that. There's a lot more, you know, the busiest anchorage that we would see would be have like 5 or 6 boats, where other places you might go, there might be hundreds of boats and mooring fields. So just being able to have that more of the wilderness factor and a little bit more remote, and being able to feel like you're not crowded in big packs with a bunch of other people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can be able to see that, and just it's very pristine. It's not developed to the point of, you know, mass commercial, you know, tourism or anything else like that, which is one of the things we really enjoy about the place. And just being able to the options to have so many different spots to go to. We've had a lot of people that have sailed all those different spots, and Belize has definitely not been on the radar compared to a lot of other spots, but it's definitely becoming more and more popular. And, you know, we're obviously very passionate about the place, but we definitely enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, no, great. So what's your assessment of the status of marine conservation in Belize?
So over 40% of the country is protected in terms of whether it's forests, inland, the, you know, marine reserves, ocean, and more and more NGOs are setting up you know, areas that are becoming protected. We're corporate sponsors of Oceana, which is a global advocacy, but they're doing a lot. The Belize office is doing a lot. They managed to block offshore drilling. It was when they were trying to start to do the testing, and they managed to get that blocked. But they coordinate many other initiatives. There's also, you know, the Turneth Atoll Sustainability Association, multiple other ones. We're actually working on a project to do an itinerary that's fully exploring all of the reserves.
Okay.
And then people can, you know, contribute, and you know, whether it's donations or spreading the word.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, like Rachel said, a lot of protected areas, a lot of marine reserves, and also terrestrial as well. And just, you know, no mass, you know, commercial fishing or anything else like that. So
Gillnets abound.
Yeah, Gillnets. And they've done a really good job, the country overall, about, you know, make sure to protect the resources that they have for future generations. So.
No, it's awesome to hear, isn't it? Because a lot of places aren't taking care of their backyard. So it's good to hear there are some countries out there really investing in making sure there is a future.
Yeah, definitely.
So awesome, guys. It's been brilliant speaking to you today. I'm sure a lot of people got a lot of value out of this. So how can people find you guys online, learn a little bit more about Belize Sailing Vacations?
Yeah, so our website is belizesailingvacations.com, and everything's on that.
Yeah, we have our, you know, emails, contacts, we have all the social media accounts, but BelizeSailingVacations.com is the best way to get a hold of us, and we look forward to, you know, taking everybody sailing and showing them a really good time.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys.
you.